You don't have to know beans about health food to appreciate the culinary talents of Mary Alice Bishop. Gretchen Bates brings us the story of this Nashville caterer whose meatless sausage is even winning over the hearts of carnivores.
It's been said that those who love the law and sausage should never see either being made. Well, that's not the case with Soysage, unless you find beans disgusting.
It's hard to make a soybean taste good. You gotta doctor it up.
And while Mary Alice Bishop is no doctor, she plays one in the kitchen, using her culinary skills to transform humdrum beans into a soy-sational delicacy.
The first time I ever tasted Soysage, I was in Prim Springs, Tennessee, and the lady that created the recipe was making it, and I had no idea what she was making. And so I just started eating it, and I just couldn't believe it. When she told me it was Soysage, I actually started laughing because the name sounded so funny, and here this country lady was saying the word Soysage. So anyway, I became her customer, and for a year and a half, I just lived off of it, and it was just, I created so many dishes and just fell in love with Soysage. And then after a year and a half, she asked me, why don't you buy the company? She said, you know, I'm just making it for friends and family. I think you can take it up a notch and bring it to a new level. And I just thought about it. I did some research, and I did it. I bought it. I bought a piece of paper, some rags, and some pots. And I built it.
Now, for people who don't know beans about Soysage, it's one labor-intensive health food.
We soak the beans overnight, so it has to be from 12 to 16 hours to be completely soaked up. Then at that point, we empty that out, we drain those, we put them in the grinder, just like a meat grinder, and it shreds them to pieces, and then we mix that with water. And then at that point, you mix it with the dry ingredients, and that are all organic, and then that gets mixed up really well, and then we mix in the wet ingredients, which is tamari and expeller pressed canola oil and a little bit of liquid smoke.
And that's when the hands-on approach becomes hands-in.
How long do you mix this before you're ready to put it in the pan?
There's no time, like I don't set a timer. I just have to make sure that everything is thoroughly mixed together. You don't see any dry ingredients that have not been soaked with the wet ingredients. Like right now, it's just about perfect.
So how many pounds did you say you make of this at a time?
It's 45 pounds at a time, and it's my busy season during the winter, and I will probably be making about between 200 and 300 pounds a day.
Wow.
Once the pans are full, things really heat up.
And we pressure cook, steam it, and that's an old-fashioned way of cooking. Most people don't pressure cook anymore. But the great thing about pressure cooking is it keeps all the nutrients in. Opposed to baking, it bakes out a lot of the nutrients. So steaming is a good thing.
You might think Mary Alice works out of a big warehouse in order to handle the demand for Soysage, but her location is as unorthodox as her ingredients.
I just finally figured out I don't need a big place. I just need something really small. Well, my friend, Suzanne Myers, calls me and says, well, I think we got something that you need. And it was just a one-car garage. The health department came by and I said, do you think we can do it? And he goes, anything's doable.
Which pretty much sums up Mary Alice's work ethic. When not in the kitchen, she's still cooking up business for her successful catering operation. I'm sure you can guess what goes into a lot of her creations, but exactly what can you make with Soysage?
My favorite is the egg rolls that I was making earlier. My best friend, Rosemary, she introduced that recipe to me, and it's been a hit. The next would be anything Mexican. Just leave out black beans, leave out the meat, and you'll be amazed.
Now, we all know that Tennessee isn't exactly the buckle of the health food belt, but Mary Alice asks all meat-loving skeptics to put her Soysage where their mouth is.
My best repeat customers are carnivores because they just simply can't believe that they're eating a meatless product. And so they're my favorite customers too, because there's a lot of them out there that say, oh, I'm not going to eat that stuff. That's no good. And then I'm demonstrating, I put it in their mouth, and sure enough, they buy a package. So, but really, you know, my best customer is the meat eater.
It's Soysage. As a meat eater, I am now fit. It's delicious.
I try to be really nice and say, step out of the box just for a second, you know, because I did, you know, and I turned around and bought the company. And I never in my life thought I'd be in the soybean business, you know. So yeah, just try it, try it. Unless you're allergic to soy or unless you're allergic to wheat, you know, you really need to branch out and give it a shot because most people are pleasantly surprised. It's so good.